Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen, and this live stream is brought to you by the awesome people over at Princess Dental Staffing. Happy to see everyone on this Wednesday. So, today's topic job description for a dental office manager. So, job descriptions are very important, not only in the office, but also as part of the application process, right? So, applicants need to know essentially what they're applying for, right? They need to know what is going to be expected of them if they are hired for a role. And the person who is creating the job description, likely maybe the dentist or maybe the dental office manager that is going to transition out of the office, has maybe created this job description. And when you have a good job description, you also know what qualifications someone needs in order to do the job well. Okay. So job descriptions are very, very important. They're a bit tedious to write and they can even be intimidating to people, but not to worry. Today, we're going to be talking about dental office managers, what they do, what some typical responsibilities and duties include. And then we're going to give you an example of a dental office manager job description to kind of help you on your way to creating that job description. Okay. But of course, before we dive too deeply into that, I just want to remind everyone that each week, Princess Dental Staffing is bringing you a new live stream covering a new topic regarding your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, or if you want to add to the conversation or be part of the conversation that we're having in these live streams, be sure to comment below. And if we couldn't get to your comment when the stream was live, of course, we will respond as soon as possible. Okay? And also, if you have some time today, hop onto princessdentalstaffing.com. Okay, so Princess Dental Staffing, for those of you who are new to these streams, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board, and they have positions available for dental receptionists, dental assistants, dental hygienists, dentists, and yes, dental office managers in a variety of different areas. So you can hop onto Princess Dental Staffing today and take a look and see what positions they have available in your area. We're talking full-time, part-time, permanent, and temporary roles. So a lot to choose from and a lot to take a look at. It's also really easy to create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers. And you can also take a look at their blog while you're there, which covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these live streams. Okay? All right, so let's jump into today's topic. All right, job description for a dental office manager. Let's start off by talking about who a dental office manager is. Okay, what is their role within the grand scheme of the office or the practice, right? So dental office manager generally supports and oversees all administrative activities in a dental office. Okay, they collaborate with dentists and other employees to ensure completion of tasks. They typically have a background in medical office operations and procedures, and may have even previously worked as a medical or a dental office assistant or receptionist. Okay. But basically, they help team members become more efficient, productive, and knowledgeable so that the office or the practice can increase the quality of the patient care and also increase profitability. Okay. So that's kind of who they are and how they kind of relate to the other team members within the office. Okay. So let's talk about some of their responsibilities. So ultimately, you know, talking about, what the responsibilities are of a dental office manager, they're hard to limit. Not so much to find, but they're definitely a little bit difficult to limit because at the end of the day, a dental office manager's job is to manage whatever the practice requires, okay? They definitely take care of the major oversight of the office, the administrative practice, the administrative practices, the operations, the business functions, and those sorts of things. And that is really hard to put on the shoulders of one person, right? So that's why dental office managers, their duties might change a little bit from practice to practice. Um, Generally, again, their major responsibility is the overarching operations mostly behind the scenes operations that help the practice function and remain and maintain profitability. But it's really kind of hard to fit all of that into one bucket and to sort of standardize it across offices. because each office's needs are going to be a little bit different from office to office, from practice to practice, right? But generally speaking, dental office managers are well organized. They implement policies, procedures, schedules, and systems that help ensure smooth operations. They engage in people management, appointment scheduling, patient treatment coordination, billing, and all those different areas. So, again, a lot of different areas that dental office managers kind of have influence over and can affect, right? So, it's really kind of hard to put it all into one bucket, but that's why these job descriptions are so, so important, because dental office managers change a little bit from office to office. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you have a clear and concise um, job description to let applicants know, what they can expect to do if they're hired for this role with this particular practice. Okay. Alrighty. So that's a little bit about the responsibilities of a dental office manager. Let's talk about some of the duties of a dental office manager, okay? So there are 22 main duties and responsibilities of dental office managers, and they can be divided into four main categories: management and administration, financial management, human resources, and marketing, okay? So those are kind of like the four main areas, but there are 22 main duties that a dental office manager can be expected to be in charge of. Okay, so let's go over some of those real quick. Management and administration on a daily basis. That encompasses things like monitoring the condition of the facility and making arrangements for any necessary repairs or maintenance, anything like that. Stock equipment and stationery are ordered and replaced regularly. Maintenance of IT and systems, as well as diagnosing difficulties with staff equipment. That might be like your hardware, computers, and maybe if you have like fax machines and things like that. Basic website maintenance, such as maintaining content, maybe. Creating statistical practice reports regularly. Maintaining a current understanding of any changes in health and safety legislation and turning them into policy. Okay, so that's really, really important to make sure that your team members are all safe, right? So you mitigate legal risk, but you also mitigate and avoid workplace injuries, right? Want to make sure that your people are healthy, right? um, let's see, regular risk assessments and assessing for and implementing safe working environment practices, and all those parts that are encompassing of the job, right? And being the first point of contact for patient concerns and dealing with any that do not fall within clinical guidelines. Okay. So that's on a daily basis, right? For management administration. That's one part of what they do. Okay. So let's talk about financial management. Financial management can encompass things like cash flow management, banking, money deposits, and statement verification. Creating financial reports on a weekly, quarterly, or annual basis, detecting any major errors or trends, enforcing patient payment plans and minimizing debt, grant applications, practice insurance, supplier research, and even more. Okay, so that's the financial piece. Now let's talk about HR, sometimes also called more recently like people management or workforce management. And HR kind of encompasses things like leading regular practice meetings, maintaining compliance with labor laws, and making necessary modifications to practice policy. That's both federal and state, and maybe even local as well, right? Identifying opportunities for employee development, establishing professional development plans, and conducting annual appraisals, update job roles and vacancy information, as well as evaluate initial applications, right? They're not the only ones that get job descriptions, everybody does. And maintaining those is a really important part of not only the application process, but the functioning of the overall operations of the office. And lastly, managing grievances and disciplinary actions, as well as motivating employees as well. Okay. And lastly, we have marketing, which encompasses identifying potential growth opportunities and developing new marketing methods, communication with patients and clients, media marketing, securing advertising possibilities, getting feedback from patients and compiling it. Okay, social media or other digital marketing tools that are managed in-house. Okay, or they may also, kind of manage the vendors for that part if it's done, not in-house, right? Done through a vendor. And developing and implementing sales strategies, recognizing trends, and aligning the practice's work with current market demands and trends. Okay, it's a lot. Okay, those are the 22 main duties, right? And there might be a little bit of nuance and a little bit of differentiation here and there, again, from office to office and practice to practice. So that's why this job description is just so crucial. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go over an example job description, and then we'll kind of talk about it. Okay, so here's one example: dental office manager job summary. Okay, so generally you want to start off your job descriptions with a job summary, kind of an overarching idea of what the potential applicant could be responsible for if they're hired for the role, right? Kind of give them a good idea. Um, Dental office manager job summary. We are looking for an experienced and collaborative dental office manager to join our clinic. As a team member, you contribute to all aspects of the business, allowing us to provide the best possible care to each patient. You organize all administrative parts of the office by organizing and updating patient records, following up with patients, managing clinic and individual calendars, and providing a clear point of authority within our organizational structure. Our ideal candidate will have several years of administrative experience, preferably in health and in healthcare, and demonstrated organizational communication and interpersonal skills. Okay, so that's just a short paragraph, just a few sentences, but you can kind of already you've got an overarching kind of idea of what major business functions that you can be expected to be entrusted with and to oversee if you're hired for this role. And this job description has very cleverly included some key skills in here as well. All right, some key skills that you expect this person to have, right? So we talk about kind of the overarching responsibilities and the skills needed in order to do a good job in overseeing and facilitating those major areas. Okay. So just a short paragraph, and already we have a great idea of what it is this person is going to be doing. Okay. And so next we have dental office manager duties and responsibilities. Okay. So you don't have to, so here we have just a few bullets. Okay. So let's go over them real quick and then we'll talk about them. Follow HIPAA rules to keep track of, update, and preserve patient records, right? Got to have that HIPAA background. Welcome patients and resolve any scheduling or other issues that may arise. Manage the calendars and appointments of dentists and other team members, and maintain a solid understanding of what's going on in the clinic. So notice there were only 4 bullets there, right? They encompassed a lot of different things, a lot of different job duties, but there were only 4 bullets, right? So you don't have to include every single job duty in the job description, because that's going to be really, really overwhelming. Okay, it's also really hard for applicants to tailor their resumes to that, because it's just so much. Okay, so keeping it kind of concise but hitting the major points, right? So if you notice, this person, whoever wrote this, hit the major points, right? Patient records, scheduling and issue resolution, managing calendars and appointments, and maintain a solid understanding of everything that's happening within the office, right? So those are just kind of like the major points. And then of course the applicant, when they're tailoring the resume to the job posting, and if you are an applicant, again, I cannot stress enough, tailor your resume to the job posting. You can kind of go into a little bit more detail in those kind of 4 major parts, right? So you can definitely go into a little bit more detail, help quantify your experience by including those metrics, but you know where to focus your resume, you know what to talk about. Okay, so this is really, really strategic, really, really important. Okay. Now, lastly, we've got the last section, which is dental office manager requirements and qualifications, right? So again, if you're the person writing this, you definitely have to have a good idea of what you need this dental office manager to do. And therefore, you need to know what skills that they need in order to do the job well. Okay, and what requirements and what qualifications. And this will give you a good idea of that. Okay, so let's go over these bullet points. Dental office manager requirements and qualifications. An associate's degree or several years of related experience are both acceptable options. Okay, prior medical administration experience, preferably in a dental clinic. Communication and organizing skills are essential. Experience as a dental assistant is preferred. Electronic billing, accounts receivables, and insurance processes are all processes that you should be familiar with. Dentrix software knowledge is a plus. Okay, so this again, very strategic. We have several the items that were listed that were required, and then there were also several items that were preferable. They're preferred qualifications. They're nice to have. Okay. So this is also very, very strategic. Again, it's really hard to include every single requirement and qualification in a job description that's going to get you the perfect applicant, the perfect new hire. Okay, so you really do, as a hiring manager, or someone who's going to be reviewing these applications and resumes that are submitted for these roles, you really do have to take an honest assessment, be honest with yourself about what they need and what you're willing to train on. Okay, such as the Dentrix software, or being a dental assistant preferred, those sorts of things. The other thing I kind of want to note here, and I love this, a lot of companies are doing more of this. An associate's degree or several years of related experience are both acceptable options. A lot of companies, and not just in the dental industry, are moving towards kind of not necessarily requiring a degree for roles that don't necessarily need a degree in order to do a good job. Instead, they are equating, education with experience, right? Because both are very, very valuable. Okay. So you can have an associate's or several years of related experience, and generally a lot of potential employers will substitute on a year for year basis, right? So you can have an associate's degree, or you can have generally like 2 years of experience, because it generally takes 2 years to get an associate's degree. Okay. A lot of these companies as well, for the job seekers out there, a lot of these companies as well, if you have some college but you never got a degree, let's say you have a year towards an associate's, a lot of them will also substitute do a combination of education experience. So if you have a year's worth of education towards an associate's, but you didn't get the associate's, and then a year's worth of experience, that's usually the equivalent of a full associate's or those 2 years of experience. Okay. So job seekers, make sure you're including that information on your resume. Okay. Alrighty. So that is the example, right? That's the example, or just one example of a dental office manager job description. Okay. But can you see the impact of that? Can you see how that is helpful? Right. The applicants who are applying for this position, they know what they can plan to do if they're hired for the role. They know how to tailor their resume and maybe even their cover letter as well. Always recommend including a cover letter. And they know what to talk about and what to show you. Okay, so these, and then of course on the writer side, the person who wrote the job description, you have a good idea of what it is that you need in the office and what the duties can be expected of a dental office manager. And that lets you know what skills and experiences you absolutely must have in order to do the job well. Okay. Alrighty, so I have a few comments coming in here. Hi, PureFest. Sounds almost like a two-person job. That's a lot. Yeah, Heidi. Yeah, it's a lot. Again, those are the 22 main duties. So some of these things the dental office manager may be able to delegate out to others, or you may just have two, office managers, or something like that. But it is quite a lot. Okay. So that's why it's different from place to place and office to office, because each office has its kind of unique set of needs. And some of those needs are being met already by other team members that are already hired and already working in that office. So it's going to be a little bit different, but it is quite a bit. It is quite a bit. Okay. Alrighty, so those are our tips and our example of a dental office manager job description. So I hope that this stream has given you a lot of great insight. And if you are writing a dental office job description, hopefully you feel a little bit more confident and you have the tools that you need in order to do this well, and to find that perfect person that is just going to be a great match for your office. Okay. We're going to be back next week with another topic concerning your career in the dental industry. But until then, I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there. See you soon. Bye.